Jey Uso found it disrespectful when Braun Breaker hit him with a spear on WWE Raw, since it's also his move. He also admitted that he took it from Roman Reigns. The Yeet Masters Intercontinental Championship match against Xavier Woods was the opening bout of this week's episode of Raw. He emerged victorious and retained the title after hitting the New Day member with a super kick and a frog splash. After the bout, Braun Breaker took him out with a spear in the ring, turning heel after a one-week run as a babyface. Jackie Redmond asked Jey Uso during a backstage interview after WWE Raw whether Braun Breaker hitting with a spear stung a little bit more since it was his move. He stated, "Jey Uso beat the 26-year-old to win the title, and the latter wants to take back what was once his. The two stars may have a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship soon." WWE programming is known for its deeply personal storylines, intense rivalries, and emotional drama. But one moment that sent shockwaves through the WWE universe recently was the Raw segment featuring Jey Uso and a rising 26-year-old star who dared to employ a move that carries weight, history, and legacy. The infamous Superman punch, made iconic by none other than Roman Reigns. To many, it was just another wrestling move. But to Jey Uso, this was more than just a moment in the ring. It was personal. And in his own words, Jey made his feelings very clear, stating, "It's disrespectful to me." Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, has reigned supreme in WWE for years. He is not only the face of the company, but also a dominant figure whose every action has shaped the current era of wrestling. Reigns' iconic Superman punch is more than a physical maneuver. It's a symbol of his dominance and superiority over his opponents. For fans of the Bloodline saga, it's a move that's synonymous with control, power, and respect. For Jey Uso, who spent years under the shadow of Reigns in the Bloodline, the move holds a deep emotional significance. He and his brother Jimmy were not only aligned with Roman, but also played pivotal roles in solidifying his position as the head of the table. The Bloodline's narrative was built on loyalty, family, and legacy. The Superman punch was an extension of that, a move that was both revered and feared. So when a 26-year-old WWE upstart attempted to use that very same move against Jey, it was as if an unspoken code had been broken. Jey Uso's WWE career has been defined by loyalty, but also by his struggle for independence. As part of the Bloodline, he was Roman Reigns' right-hand man for years, fighting alongside his cousin in countless battles. Yet the last couple of years saw Jey embark on a turbulent journey, from challenging Roman's authority to standing side by side with him, only to eventually break free from the toxic dynamics of the Bloodline altogether. After his dramatic exit from the Bloodline on SmackDown, Jey made his way to Raw, attempting to carve out a fresh path for himself. The Red brand offered new opportunities, but it also brought challenges. Jey was constantly reminded of his past, with wrestlers and fans alike drawing comparisons to his time with Roman. The weight of his family's legacy followed him everywhere he went. In this context, Jey has been fighting not just to prove his worth as a solo competitor, but also to shed the baggage of his Bloodline associations. Every match, every promo, and every moment in the ring was an attempt to stand on his own, outside of Roman Reigns' looming shadow. It was during an episode of Monday Night Raw when the 26-year-old star, full of confidence and seeking to make a name for himself, squared off with Jey Uso in what was already a heated contest. The young competitor had been rising through the ranks, and facing Jey was a chance to prove himself against one of WWE's most seasoned stars. As the match reached its climax, the young star prepared for a moment that he hoped would define his career, a move that would signal his arrival on the big stage. He cocked his fist, mimicking the same motion Roman Reigns does before delivering the Superman punch. The crowd recognized it instantly. Gasps, cheers, and murmurs filled the arena as the young wrestler launched into the move. But for Jey Uso, this was no ordinary wrestling spot. As the punch connected, Jey's expression shifted. What should have been just another sequence in the match suddenly carried far deeper weight. The move wasn't just an attack on Jey physically. It was an attack on his identity, his history, and his struggle to break free from the very legacy he was trying to distance himself from. After the match, when questioned backstage about the incident, Jey Uso didn't hold back. "It's disrespectful to me," he said with a calm intensity. "That move isn't just a move. It's tied to my family, to everything we've built. To use it against me, it's like spitting on everything I've been through." The Superman punch isn't just another wrestling move in the WWE arsenal. It is a symbol of Roman Reigns' dominance over his opponents. Every time Reigns has executed the move, it was a reminder of his place at the top, a constant reassertion of his dominance as the tribal chief. For Jey, seeing someone else use it, especially against him, felt like an insult to everything he had endured while being a part of the bloodline. It wasn't just about the physical impact of the punch, but the emotional baggage it carried. He had spent years fighting under Roman's command, often sacrificing his own ambitions for the sake of the family's collective success. To see someone who hadn't lived through that use Roman's move was a stark reminder of the pain, manipulation, and internal conflict that had defined his time in the bloodline. Jey's journey from being Roman's right-hand man to standing against him was a hard-fought battle, both in the ring and mentally. The Superman punch was a move that Jey had come to associate with Roman's control over him, a symbol of everything he had tried to escape from. Jey Uso's path in WWE is one of the most compelling narratives today. He is a man still trying to find his place in a company where family legacy and individual identity are constantly in conflict. While he is determined to forge his own path, moments like the one on Raw serve as a reminder that the shadow of Roman Reigns and the bloodline will always be there, looming over him. The disrespect he felt from the 26-year-old star using the Superman punch isn't something Jey will forget easily. In fact, it might fuel him even further to prove that he doesn't need Roman's moves, Roman's approval, or Roman's legacy to succeed. As Jey continues to build his own story on Raw, the WWE Universe will be watching closely. Will this moment ignite a new feud? Will it push Jey to embrace his past or further distance himself from it? One thing is certain, Jey Uso is far from done, and the disrespect he felt on that night will likely be the spark that ignites his next chapter.